Welcome to what surely will be a doozy of a matchup right here, sports fans. Whether your game is on the gridiron, at the diamond, or on the links, we can only say, get up off your seats and get ready for some real action. Welcome to this week's Huddle Up with Gus. 15-year NFL quarterback Gus Frerotte, passion for sports, has taken him on the field and behind the benches, playing for 7 NFL franchises with 114 TDs under his belt. Gus knows who the players are and how the games are won.
It's not every day you get to hang out with an NFL quarterback, huh?
Okay, sports fans, from the decked out and plush 1631 digital studios, it's kickoff time. So snap your chin straps on and get ready to huddle up with Gus.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Huddle Up with Gus. I'm your host, 15-year NFL quarterback Gus Frerotte. I appreciate you joining me. Check me out wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, or you can go to my website, huddleupwithgus.com, and you can find all the shows that we've recorded before and this show coming up. So I want to thank some people first. I want to thank MFN, Multi-Format Format Network, who always helps us, who's doing this great editing and producing for us. So thank you to Ben and Dennis and all the crew there. I want to thank 1631 Digital News and that crew that always helps us and pushes out our show. And thank Terry Schulman, who always helps me get our incredible guests. So thank you, Terry. And I also want to thank last week, my wife and I took a little trip to the Catskill Mountains. I want to thank Canosa Hall for hosting us and everybody there. Chris Bernsey, the chef, Haley and Ashley, everybody there was amazing. We had a blast and a wonderful time. So thank you for hosting us at Canosa Hall as well. If you want to ever get to the Catskills, check it out. It's a lot of fun. It's laid back and quiet. So today we have a great show. Somebody who has a name you may recognize, and you may recognize, especially if you're from Chicago. But this guy, he played at Georgia Southern. He's in the Hall of Fame, in the College Hall of Fame. And, he has incredible records. I think, is it true, Adrian, that you even have the MVP named after you now?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's amazing. So joining us today is Adrian Peterson. Adrian, I'm sorry, it's kind of funny. I see your name, and I played with, as I say, the other Adrian Peterson, which I'm sure you get quite often. I'm sure you get quite often. But I know you grew up in Gainesville.
Yep.
And so tell me, I think football runs in your family's blood a little bit because your brother played for the Falcons as well, right? Wasn't he? Or he's drafted by the Colts?
Yep, it does. Yep. So we grew up in a little small town. I'm in Alachua, Florida, which is about 8 to 10 miles north of Gainesville. And as you mentioned, my older brother, Mike Peterson, I actually played 14 years in the NFL. I have an older cousin, Freddie Solomon. He played 4 years in the NFL also. So, grew up early age in it, man, and stuck with it and had a great career.
What first drew you to sports? Was it watching other people, or was it just that you just went outside and you did it? Like everybody has a different story.
Yeah, growing up as a kid, just playing sports, and then my dad, he coached rec ball in our town, and he was coaching way before myself or my brother even started playing. So just being around the game, and once Mike started playing, and I turned old enough, 5 or 6, I told my mom and dad to sign me up for football.
Yeah. But you also had a pretty big college in your town too. That it was probably all around you, football.
Yeah, Gainesville, and the Gators. And growing up, I was more of a running back fan. So I didn't really have a favorite college football team, but I watched all the running backs, the Bo Jacksons, the Herschel Walkers, Walter Paytons, and coincidentally, all those guys had one thing in common. They all wore the number 34. So my first years of football, I wore number 34. So, just early on being a kind of a student of the game.
Well, I would say that Emmitt Smith probably would be upset that you said that, because 22 is a pretty big name there in Gainesville, especially in
Florida.
Oh,
yeah. Huge fan of Emmett, of course. He's a Florida guy also. So.
Oh, yeah, Florida. I think he was just named like Florida Player of the Century in football.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great guy. You know, and I saw that your brother went to Florida. What was that when you were getting recruited? Because I know that you were, you know, everything in high school. What was the choices for you, and how was that decision made to go to Georgia Southern?
Well, coming out, you know, early on, you get all the calls and the letters, but you know, when it came down to it, only had 3 offers, and that was Georgia Southern, South Carolina State, and FAMU. And you know, a couple other schools said we might offer you if so and so doesn't sign. And you know, I was always confident in my ability, so I didn't want to give up a scholarship offer on a possible on a maybe. So signed to Georgia Southern, man, and didn't look back.
Yeah, no, obviously you didn't look back. You said how many records at Georgia Southern? I mean, I think you broke and set all the rushing records at Georgia Southern.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's too many to list, I think. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. So growing up, I mean, you were a track guy, you were a football guy. And I read that you're also a weightlifting champion.
Yep.
We didn't really have that in Pennsylvania when I was growing up. What was that? I mean, they had like side competitions, but was that something that was a part of your school?
Yeah. So in high school, I played football, basketball, track, and weightlifting team. And yeah, so we would have about 8 to 10 meets a year in weightlifting, and then we have the district meet and the state meet. Now, when I went to state, I finished, I think, a third in my weight class. I was in the 199 class, and it was great competition. So it was a bench press and the clean and jerk, and you put those two combined, and that was your score.
Yeah, the clean and jerk is tough. Like, what was the most you ever did at that?
So in high school, my mics at the state meet was 315 on the clean and jerk and 305 on the bench press.
Wait, so that 315 would be what? What'd you weigh? 190?
I was 199.
That's putting up some weight. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So, you know, because I didn't have that kind of lifting when I went to high school in the 80s. Like, you know, we had like a little circuit thing, like you went around and you did a bench press, you know what I mean? We had some free weights, but nothing like that. That had to be, you know, because football has grown and we understand the body so much more and what it takes. And, you know, getting in, once I got to college, I got into Olympic lifting a lot more, which is like the clean and jerk and those types of things, which is the better full body exercise.
Yeah. I mean, we were on it from ninth grade on, and, you know, we actually had a specified weightlifting class, and you know, that's where you learn all of those techniques, the clean and jerk, bench press, squats, all that stuff.
Yeah. Do you feel like that helped you? Did you recognize a difference as you went from 9th, 10th, 11th to 12th, like with the lifting?
Oh yeah, of course. And just as far as weight gain and just the stuff I was able to do on the field, on the basketball court. I mean, I was always a kind of naturally strong kid, but adding those weights and running track, just seeing my conditioning level increase. And, you know, we were a middle of the pack school, so we were a 4A school in Florida at the time. We went to 6A. So, you know, playing offense, defense, returning punts, returning kickoffs, you know, track helped out a lot, you know, by just increasing my endurance, conditioning.
Do you miss those days of being able to never leave the field? I miss those days.
Oh, yeah. That was, I mean, you knew going in, you know, once the ball was kicked off, you probably want to be out there the whole game. And just to have to refocus on, going from offense, going to defense, and going back to receive a punt, kickoff return team, setting up the wedges. So, I mean, it was a lot, throughout the course of a game.
Those were the only times I got a break on any return teams because I was so slow. They never wanted me on a return team. I was okay because I was the punter and the kicker, so I was all right there. But the return teams, they wouldn't let me on. They're like, man, you can stay on the sideline. That was the only break I got, though. But I did play defense, which is hard to believe. But anyway, so you're going in through this whole process. You've learned a lot. Like you've had 4 years of experience of training your body. So when you get to Georgia Southern, that must not have been a big shock for you, or kind of was it? Because for me, going to college was a pretty big shock in what I had to do to train differently.
It wasn't. It wasn't. And also, outside of the training part is just playing so many sports. So I was always active. Like from my 9th grade year, I never went home after school. We went directly from football to basketball to track to spring football, and then during the summer I played AAU basketball. So just as far as off the field, that was an easy transition as far as the time management piece. Because a lot of kids now struggle with time management.
Yeah. In
high school, you at school for 8 hours and you go directly to football practice. Where here in college, you might have a class at 8, and then another night 11. You might have weights, so it's a lot of downtime, and everybody's not good having downtime. So just that transition part of it, it was easy, and the lifting piece. I had already been in a great weight program. My head coach John Carter, he would actually lift with us. So I mean, he wasn't just one preaching lift. No, he was squat with us, he would bench with us, show us how to do the clean and jerk. So had a lot of hands-on experience.
It's always a good goal is try to beat your coach.
I know. He was strong though, so it was tough to get him.
Yeah.
He was
but I bet he made it like, hey, come on, you can get strong too. Just come there, get down.
He was tough, man. And now that you're older, you realize how good he was.
Yeah. So did you so you've had a lot of people in your life that were kind of mentors for you when you were younger. You had a good coach. You had a dad who coached football. You had I'm assuming your brother Mike was older than you.
Yep.
Right. And so you had some good mentors, as you said, Freddie, Solomon as well. So who did you draw on the most when after high school, maybe through high school and then on into college?
Probably Mike, because he was 3 years older than I was, so I kind of just did everything he did. My dad had already put in the work ethic, put the discipline in us. So, when I got to college, I was already self-disciplined. That was easy. So, I kind of leaned on that because I had already been raised from age 5 to 16 years old. If a coach tell you to do something, you're supposed to do it. If you do it wrong, he's probably gonna yell at you, and he's supposed to. So do it right and have fun doing it. And then just watching Mike progress through his freshman year as a red shirt, then eventually playing a little bit and then becoming a starter, and playing well at Florida, getting drafted.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I bet through your high school years, you used to wear a lot of Florida Gator gear when you were in high school. Because if I had an older brother with Penn State and Pennsylvania, I'm darn sure I've been wearing Penn State gear.
Oh yeah, and the little shoe. When they got there, they gave them the travel shoes, the workout shoes. So either he was finished wearing them, which they were still almost brand new,
right.
I would get them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I could just see that now. I would do the same thing. Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to go. Cause you're kind of setting yourself apart from all your friends in high school. You're like,
yeah. Easy recognition.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you get to Georgia Southern, and I think you started your freshman year. Right? Didn't you play some games in your freshman year?
I redshirted my redshirt year, and then I became the 4-year starter. Correct.
And what type of offense were you running? Because it looked like kind of like wing T, wishbone-ish, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah, it was the triple option.
Option.
Under center, the quarterback under center, fullback is about 4.5 yards. The 2 wing backs and the 2 wide receivers out wide.
Yeah, you were all the big guy in the middle.
Yeah. So it was the same offense I ran in high school, so I was very, very familiar with the offense. The pounding is gonna be, because even when I didn't get the ball, I still got hit, but I was ready for it.
So if I'm the quarterback and I got to call play for you, what's the play call I'm going to make?
So it's a read option. The base one starts 12 and 13. So 12 is we going at the right. He's going to put it in my stomach. Read the DN. The DN comes down and takes me. He pulls it and goes up to the linebacker level. Read the linebacker. The linebacker takes the quarterback. He pitches it to the slot back. So
how many times do you think you ran that play?
A lot. A lot.
Yeah. So you were at Georgia Southern. You have some incredible. Who was your coach there? I was reading about him.
Paul Johnson. So Paul Johnson came to Southern. After I left, he went on Navy Academy, and then I was there for 4 years, and then took over at Georgia Tech. I think it was at Georgia Tech for about 8 years.
Yeah, and then so you had him. He seemed like a pretty good guy. It seemed like everybody on the team liked him a lot, but every coach wants to move up and kind of, keep getting moving forward.
It's part of the business, and guys understood that. That's the nature of the business.
So it comes. You've played. You redshirted. You played 4 years. I'm assuming, just like I did. You were there 5 years at Georgia Southern.
Yep.
What was your emphasis on studying? What did you want to be besides a football player?
So my major was commercial recreation, and I minored in sociology. So it was either going to be hotel tourism, and that's what I was going to do if I wasn't drafted. I had a couple internships lined up. One was they had a brand new Westin hotel here in Savannah, or either the Ritz-Carlton down in Amelia Island. And actually, fast forward 7 years later, I ended up getting married at the Ritz-Carlton on Amelia Island. So I'm kind of using my major now. I'm back at Georgia Southern as Director of Student Athlete Development. So kind of using my sociology degree, just dealing with our student athletes.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. I was in the hyper program, we called it in college, a health phys ed recreation at Tulsa, and they don't even have it anymore. But it was something I was an outdoors guy. I always wanted to figure out like how to do it. Recreation was always part of that. It was a wide field that you could do anything you wanted. I had no idea what I was going to do. But I was probably a lot like you, where I had an inkling. And if the football thing didn't work out, I'd have some internships lined up so I could go play. Yep. But glad the football thing worked out. That's for sure.
You and me both. Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening. You're joining us on Huddle Up with Gus. Check us out at huddleupwithgus.com, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. We were just talking with Adrian Peterson about, his time at Georgia Southern, his coach, his offense. And the last part was, really what he wanted to study. And it was in recreation and sociology. Now he's back helping other kids. He's back at his college and doing what he wants to do. But Adrian, so you go through Georgia Southern and you have his career. You followed your brother's career. And, it's hard not to want the same thing as your brother, right? And then the draft comes. Tell me about what your expectations were when you went into the draft, because you saw your brother go through it, Like I had an older cousin who went through that kind of from Penn State. He was like 8 years older than me, but and I had a little inkling of what it was. But tell me about that whole process for you and what it was like.
Yeah, so I just start from the training part of it. Just to let another agent, that was a step. We got through that. Ended up signing with IMG. Trained down in Bradenton, Florida. Then the draft comes around. Figured I would be probably anywhere from 3 through 5. Didn't have a great 40 time, but I figured game film would kind of override some of that. That didn't happen. Was 6th round draft pick, pick 199, and was excited. Was ready to again, of course, kind of like the high school days when I figured I was one of the better running backs, not only in the state but in the nation. But didn't get to have those offers, but again had to go out and prove myself. And it was a no-brainer. And I ended up going to Chicago and landing there for 8 years.
So what was that like for you being in Chicago? Because that's a lot different weather than down in Georgia and Florida.
Yeah, it was an adjustment. One on just understanding how to dress. Coming from out of Florida and then Georgia. You can kind of make it through your winter if you got a skull cap and a thick hoodie. You can kind of make it through. You can kind of make it through, but got to Chicago, man, and had to get a couple scarves, couple pair of gloves, and a couple pair of boots.
Yeah.
Long johns. I got a quick story. I saw my neighbors. They would be snow blowing or shoveling their driveway, and they looked so comfortable over there. And I was in my driveway with the hoodie on and some gym shoes, and I'm freezing. I'm like, man, they look a little comfortable over there. So I had a couple questions, and they advised me, it's a couple pair of socks you should get, and a couple pair of boots you should get, and so you learn as you go, man. But I learned fast because it was some long winters up there in Chicago.
Long winters. What do you remember? Like the coldest game you've ever played in?
Yeah, I think the coldest two. I think one was against Green Bay. It was at home, and then the other one was Atlanta Falcons. It was a Sunday night game, and it might have been like 2 below, something insane like that. But it was a mind-over matter.
It's always windy in Chicago too. It's like crazy
wind.
That stadium.
Yeah, and our stadium, it sits right down the lake, so it might be nice, but when that gust of wind comes through, you can feel it for sure.
Yeah, so I think you were in Chicago, 6 years, 7? Well, how
8
many years? 8 years,
8
that's
years.
right.
Yep.
So what was your, we could talk a lot about your career, but I want to know, what was your favorite part? What was the most, what did you love the most about playing in the NFL?
Oh, man. I guess being a role model. When you go back home and the little kid saying, that's Adrian Peterson, he plays in the NFL. Because, of course, it's always a dream, but not many make it.
Yeah.
But when you do make it, and you could go back and you can, even if it's not sharing an experience, but just being visible to those who have that same dream, and just can see, hey, he grew up right down the street, and and he's in NFL, and guess what? He's still coming back, and so just being around, because all the other stuff it's great, but if I think if we as the NFL players, if we aren't using that to encourage, motivate, inspire others, then, it's no good,
So you're at Georgia Southern, you're back and you're in student athlete development. Is that right? Something like that?
Yeah. So the director of student athlete development.
So tell me about what kind of discussions you have with your student athletes that from all the experiences, right? Because they're going to draw on your experiences. Some of them want to hear, some of them don't want to hear and need to hear. So tell me about like those kind of discussions that you have with these kids that said, I've been here, I've done this, I've gotten to the highest level. Listen to me.
Question number one is why are you here? Because some of them, whether it's not going to class or not performing on the field or missing stuff, why are you here? And what are you trying to get from the university? And if just the NFL that's your main concern, I think you just limited yourself. Because, of course, when I was in school, we didn't have an individual in my position, someone who, played here at Georgia Southern, was a great player, went on to play in the NFL and had these experiences. So my goal is just to help them, if that's their goal, to point them in that right direction, but also maximize every resource that this university can offer, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And, we didn't have some of these resources that the student athletes have today.
Yeah.
I'm just giving an example. We just have they have it now for a while, but an academic center, like where if you need a tutor, you can call myself or one of the academic advisors, hey, coach, I need a tutor for math. And if it's at 8 a.m, we can probably have one by that evening, if not first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
now, throughout my years here, son, I probably had about 5 tutors. Not that I didn't need them, but the resources just wasn't there,
Well, Adrian, when I was so old, when I had to go do a paper, I had to walk across campus. We had one computer room in the whole, for the whole university. Like nobody had their own computer. Yeah, so you went over there, right? The like you said, all those resources are different. And I also wanted to ask you in our next segment, I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the other stuff that you had to overcome and you still work on and you deal with kids and other people, because I know you love being a part of the community and you do a lot for the community. But tell me a little bit about your family.
Yeah, so mom and dad is Porter and Rita Peterson. Been married for probably about 45 years, forever.
Hey, I'm close to that. Don't wait, watch what you say now. I'm on 27, so
27. So every year, my dad called me on my anniversary and say, "Congratulations, son." And I teased with him. I said, "I'm gonna catch you there." He said, "I don't know about that one, son. You got a long way to go."
Yeah,
you got a long way to go. So just hearing that, just understanding the importance of that, because it is important, not only to my dad but to myself. So older brother Mike Peterson, played at the University of Florida, 14-year NFL vet, now outside linebackers coach back at University of Florida. My younger brother Rodney Peterson lives in Gainesville, and then my younger sister Lakeisha Peterson, she was at the University of Florida also, but she was the smart one, so she took all the brains. She was for academics.
she got all the brains.
Yeah, she took all the brains from us, man. So
she's trying to let you know too.
Oh yeah. I love her for it. Because we did the field stuff, and she handled the stuff in the classroom, and we love her to death. And she's a school teacher down in the Orlando area.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Hey, everyone. We are talking with Adrian Peterson. You can check us out at huddleupwithgus.com, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. So, Adrian, we were talking about your family. Now, have you started your own family?
Oh, yeah. So, my wife and I been married for 11 years. Angela Peterson. Had 4 kids. My oldest son, Adrian Peterson Jr., he passed away 5 years ago from brain cancer.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry.
he's still with us in spirit. We still celebrate his birthdays. We laugh a little bit, we cry a little bit, laugh a little bit more, and cry a little bit more.
Yeah.
But still living. Aiden is a 13-year-old 7th grader. Amelia is a 11-year-old 5th grader, and Alana is our soon-to-be 8-year-old. She'll be 8 on Thursday, and she's a 2nd grader.
Oh, that's awesome. It sounds like a great family, and I'm sorry for the loss of your son. That had to be tough.
It was.
Yeah. So where did you meet her? She from Chicago?
No, so we actually met here at Georgia Southern. So
okay.
Yeah. So she's 3 years younger. So when I got drafted, she was still in school here, and stayed and graduated. I thought she was gonna move up, once she graduated, but she was like, no, you got to propose. So
she said it's way too cold up there.
Yeah,
I don't want to wear those boots.
Yeah, I don't wear those boots. So got engaged, and then she moved up Chicago, and we started raising our family. So all of our kids were born in the Chicago area.
Yeah, sports is a tough thing. It can overcome a lot of different adversities for people. It can pull you into a group. It can make you part of a team, part of a family. It can do so many things for you. I know that you have a speech impediment that
Yep.
you talk about, that you deal with, that you talk to other people about. So tell me about how sports really helped you with all that, because sometimes that can be pretty lonely.
Yeah. So growing up, man, at a pretty young age, my mom and dad recognized it, but as a young kid, you didn't really pick up on it until you kind of start school. And, I was in speech from kindergarten to all the way through my senior year in high school. And that was one of the deciding factors for my mom. That was for where I went to school. She didn't really care about what type of offense we ran or who the head coach was. She wanted to know what type of services could you guys provide for me with my speech impediment. And at the time, they didn't have anything. But my mom said, if he comes here, you guys are gonna have to find a speech therapist to work with him. And they did. And that was Sharon Milliner. And that was one of the best things that happened. We worked together 5 years, and that's when I seen the most improvement in my speech. And sports kind of helped a little bit, but when you're dealing with a speech impairment, it's something that's 24 hours, 7 days a week, 12 months out of the year. So whether it's during the off season, as a young kid, you're going to pay for gas. We're at the age where you had to go in and speak when you had to go pay for gas. There was no pay at the pump. So mom would give you $20, and she'd say, go put $8 worth of gas in the tank. I had to go in the gas station and try to figure out how I'm going to formulate my words to say, I want $8 on pump 2. So, it was just conversation that, some people take for granted, that I had to think on how am I going to get my words out, because it wasn't something I wanted. It was something my mom told me to go and do. So I had to get it right, and I had to do it.
Yeah.
So, just handling those situations, I think, prepared me, man, for anything else in life. If and I always tease with my wife that I think everybody should be faced with some type of adversity at an early age. I think it'll make a whole lot of better humans. Just growing up.
Yeah, and just thinking about that, and I'm sure you do, that you talk about it and you go out and when you talk to kids, because you're going to be recognized by other kids that have similar issues. And, our president right now has had a speech impediment, and he talks about it and how you can overcome it, and it shouldn't get in your way, right? You work on it, and it's hard work, but you got to do what you got to do to be who you want to be. And what are you doing now? Like, who do you deal with in the community? Do you go see kids a lot, talk to kids, and or do you kind of like specialize, or you just talk to everyone?
So about 5 years ago, I finished my book, which is titled "Don't Diss My Abilities." Man, it's about growing up with a speech impediment. But as far as the audience, it's whoever really. I've spoken at probably about 400, whether it's youth groups, after school programs. I spoke with the Chicago Tights Club. It's just a wide base because you never know who's in the audience. You never know who you're going to motivate, who you're going to inspire, to whether it's sharing their story or going out and help a kid or helping a senior citizen. So, I mean, you never know who's in the audience. So I don't try to limit myself.
Yeah. So who did you write this book on your own? Did you have somebody help you? How did this whole story come about?
Yeah, so it started off as just a hobby. I mean, I was just writing, whether it was in between games or on the flight during the off season, and had a publisher come to me, a Georgia Southern grad, and he knew me through our years in college, and he was like, "AP, make sure you write a book." And well, I said, "Man, I already have like 15 pages," but it was just mumbo jumbo. It was just my ideas on paper.
Yeah.
And, when you go with a publisher, they clean it up, whether it's grammar, adding buffer words to it. Whereas, I'm just giving an example. I may say, it was Monday morning, I woke up. A polished writer would say, it was Monday morning after a long Sunday evening. My mom came in the room and woke me up for school.
Yeah.
Simple stuff like that. But as an unpolished writer, I did a little research on writing, and they just said, just put your ideas on paper. Don't try to add anything. Just put your ideas on paper, because if you try to think of what you can add, you may lose your writing rhythm, and that's when you have writer's block. So just put your ideas on paper, and then you can always come back and add on take away stuff.
Who wrote the foreword in your book?
Tracy Ham. So Tracy Ham, him and I went to the same high school. Played at Georgia Southern also. He's a legend here at Georgia Southern. His jersey number is retired. Played in the CFL for, I'm a guess, but about 13 years, won multiple Grey Cups. He was actually on staff. He recruited me here at Georgia Southern.
Oh, okay.
And after I signed, about 3 weeks after I signed, the CFL called him and offered him another contract. So he went back to the CFL and played another 4 years, but it didn't sit well with my mom,
Yeah.
He came in the house and said, he's gonna take care of Adrian when he gets there. Anything he needs, he can always come to me. And my mom is old school, so if you make those words and those guarantees, you better stick to your guns.
Right.
And but as an athlete, me and my dad understood, and I now he's on staff. He also at Georgia Southern, so him and I we joke about that all the time. And every time he see my mom, he reminded, I told her this was the best place for him, and she laughs about that. So
yeah,
pretty cool little backstory on that.
Yeah, no, that is awesome that you did that. And I love your book because I think it can help so many people. And we'll definitely help you share it and get it out with our show.
Appreciate it.
And so between what you're doing now and when you retired, was there something else you were doing, or did you go right to Georgia Southern right away?
No, so I thought I finished up. I did the book, and then I became a motivational speaker, and also opened up a gym up in the Chicago area with a couple other guys I played with. Jason McKee played fullback for us, and Alex Brown, defensive end. So we opened up a training facility, all pro sports performance, up in the.
Do you still have it?
Yes, sir. Stay out of the gym. Yes, sir.
Nice. Yeah, I remember Alex. I think he hit me a few times.
Okay.
Especially when I played for the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you were still. Were you? What was your last year? Yeah. Yeah. I was. My last year was 2008 when I played for the Vikings because I remember. You know what? You and I have something really cool in common. Did you know that?
What's that?
We both threw a touchdown to Bernard Berrien.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tell me about the play you threw a touchdown to Bernard.
Hey, you know what? So we ran that OTAs. OTA, we ran it. It was just OTA practice. We put it in maybe 2 days before that practice, and it worked. And I think that was the only time we ran. We might have walked through it the week before the game. And then it was just a toss. I was supposed to keep going, but the defensive end kind of came up, and it was a slippery field. So I just kind of tossed it up that he was wide open. So I didn't want to try to do anything special. Just get it to him. Just get it to him.
Hey, that's a hard throw to make.
It is because he's wide open, and I didn't try to finesse it. Just get it to him, and it worked. So.
Wait, so how did they know you could throw the ball? Were you always in practice? Like Randy Moss was always throwing the ball in practice, right? Because he wanted to play quarterback too, because the guy could do anything. Yeah.
As backs, we would always out there early and just get some throws, just working on some catching stuff. And that was another thing I share with our student athletes now, man, is it's a pre-practice. So when you go to practice, the first pass you catch shouldn't be in 7-on-7. Your hands should be. You should go out there. You get loose, and we'd always go out there and just throw. And in the running back room, I I did have best arm in the running back room.
I love it. Yeah, Bernard was a good dude. He came to the Vikings. He left you guys, came to us.
Yep.
Yeah. Fast, man. He was fast. Yeah, that was he's in the record book with me for 99 yards. So that was I'll never forget that.
I think that was against us.
It was. I'm not gonna say anything, but it was.
Okay. All right.
Peanut Tillman was out there.
Yeah, yeah. As he said, I said, I was against us.
Yeah, we had a pretty good defense that year with both, Pat and Kevin Williams.
Oh yeah. Y'all was loaded. Y'all.
I think we had Jared Allen was defensive end.
Jared Allen. Henderson might have been the linebacker.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the teams?
It was good. I was one of my favorite places to play because that place would get loud.
It would. I remember we played you guys, and what's the motorcycle? What's the
guy come out? Ragnar would come out.
He come out, man. It goes crazy in there. So
I'm always like, why you got a motorcycle in here? All the fumes and the smoke, and you can't breathe. And it's like, it always drove me crazy about places that have domes and they light fireworks off. It never made sense to me. Never made sense to me at all.
Yeah.
So is one of the prerequisites of every Georgia Southern player coming in is to read your book? That's the first reading material they have.
You know what? It's not, but I may put that on the list to do though.
Oh yeah, all for incoming freshmen. It's in their locker. Must read by first game.
I may put that in there. I may add that in there. I should like that.
Yeah. So I was reading where you've been doing this a while now. How much do you really love doing what you're doing right now?
I love it. And actually, before I even took the job by Georgia Southern, I was already doing it, just reaching out to our student athletes because I am Georgia Southern, man. You know, I got it on as we speak. So, and yeah, I love it. You know, so when guys graduated, I would just hit them up while they were still in school. What's your plans? If you ever need anything, you know, talk to them, you know, ideas, hit me up. So when I got offered the position, I was like, man, I'm already kind of doing that, but if it pays also, there's
why
no
not,
brand.
right?
Yes, no round. I'm already doing it because you know, again, man, I was blessed to have mom and dad in the house, strict, but they was fair. Older brother Mike, who you know, was a superstar in high school, got to Florida, was a superstar in Florida's Hall of Fame, and you know, so I had the blueprint. So all I had to do was follow it, and that's what I did. And I just try to encourage our student athletes now, man. You know, I'm not telling something that's going to benefit me because I'm old and washed up, kick back. But everything I'm telling you, man, is just benefit yourself and put you in the best position to be successful. And, you know, whether it's football or going in the workforce.
Yeah, you know, not every kid gets that blueprint. We all come from different backgrounds. And, you know, you learn that as you, like from when I went to the small town in Pennsylvania to college to kids from all over in different states coming to one place in one play, creating a new team, and then going to the NFL. And for me, playing for 7 different teams and meeting people from many, many different backgrounds, it's been amazing for me. And, you know, we don't all have the same blueprint. And sometimes if you can give somebody a little direction or help them sharpen their pencil or give them a better eraser or whatever it is, you know, you can help lead them down the right path.
And that's all I'm here for, is just the point, hey, man, you might not want to do that, you know. I already tried that, and that ain't going to work. You know,
right.
I tried that more than once, so just try something else, because that's not going to work, man.
All right, before we go, give me your pitch. All right, I'm going to go to Georgia Southern or I'm going to go to FAM, either one, but I need to hear your pitch on why I should come to Georgia Southern.
If you want to win, 6-time national champions, multiple college football Hall of Famers, myself, Tracy Ham, still currently one of the better running backs in the NFL, currently playing Matt Breida, Jared McKinney. If you're a specialist, 2 of the best NFL kickers, Tyler Bass, Younghoe Koo. You play cornerback, Kendall Vildor, 2 is a draft pick, currently playing for the Chicago Bears. Off the field, I'm here as a direct student athlete development. So whatever you're trying to do, I'm here to help you. Internship, a job, you know, we have resources for you.
All right, Coach, what if I'm a kid and I say, Coach, what do the girls look like?
Come on, man. I found my wife here.
But you know how it goes. Kids are 18.
I found my wife here, man. That's what you want. And here's what I tell them. I know you thinking for today. You're thinking for tomorrow. I'm thinking for when you're old like me. This is what you want to have.
Right. I love it. So tell all of our fans, Coach, where they can find you and how they can follow you.
Yeah, so I'm on all of my social media, Instagram and Twitter is APGSU3. If you want the book, I'll book me for speaking, AdrianPeterson3.com.
Adrian3Peterson3.com is your website. And what is on, like, what can we find on your website?
So I have my books is on there. Contact you want to book me for a speaking engagement, and just look content of my life.
Yeah. So, all right, everyone, you heard it right from Adrian's mouth. You know, if you want to check him out, go to adrianpeterson3.com. Check out his book, Don't Diss My Abilities. He's given us a lot to listen to. And if you want to go somewhere, you want to win, you want to learn from the best, definitely go to Georgia Southern. So all you young guys out there looking for the place to go, Georgia Southern is it. You're going to have incredible people around you, and they're going to give you the right blueprint to follow in life. So that there's nothing more important than that. So thank you, Adrian, for joining me, man. It was awesome getting to know you, and I hope we can stay in touch.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me, man. Look forward to it.
All right. Good luck this year, and good luck with all those kids.
All right, man. Thank you, brother.
All right, everyone. It's another episode of Huddle Up with Gus. I want to thank everyone here, MFN, 1631 Digital News. I want to thank Sounder FM and all the people that support me. Check me out at Huddle Up with Gus, and we'll catch you next week on Huddle Up with Gus or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. All right, talk to you soon.
And that's a wrap, sports fans. Thanks for joining in the fun at the 1631 Digital Studios for another action-packed Huddle Up with Gus, featuring 15-year NFL quarterback Gus Frerotte. Huddle Up with Gus is proudly produced by 1631 Digital Media and is available on Apple Music.